Welcome to the Grizzled Geek Podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm Doug.
And we're here, episode 72, volume 3. If that makes any sense to anybody. Probably doesn't.
No, not even us.
Not even us. Welcome, guys. We are back with another week of your nerd news coming at you. We're down one person tonight. Kirsten wasn't able to make it. So, we're going to have a rock, paper, scissors. See who gets to do the Weeb World news. But we, Doug and I are here because, we've not been, left our house anytime soon or do anything really. I got to ask you, Doug. Now, you've had like a year, pretty much almost, cooped up, locked away. How's life going to change for you now that you've been vaccinated? Pretty much going to stay the same?
Yeah, until other people are.
Until other people are, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I was actually posting on the Age of Sigmar Facebook page that as soon as you get vaccinated, then we can get together and start playing some Warhammer games. And
that's right. Start
get some
of those.
Yeah, get some battle reports going. That'd be fun.
That'd be exciting. I will say, I'm not looking forward to going back to a physical work.
I really hope my work doesn't do that.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah, I don't. You know what? I don't think mine will either. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. They're threatening to, so
yeah,
we'll see how that goes. But other than that, so how have you been?
Not too bad. Yeah, it's going. I've been doing a lot of recording for our second channel, the Grizzled War Master.
Yep.
Keeping it to and doing lots of working on the presentations ahead of time.
Yeah.
So I should be able to keep to the 2 a week schedule. So that's fun.
Nice. I'm doing 1 a week and I've fallen behind on that already. But you know how it is. Getting into gaming, getting back together. I've actually been playing a couple games.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
But I haven't really had much chance to do much other than that, and seeing the same people over and over again.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But guys, we want to thank everybody listening to us out there. We've got quite a few more listeners coming in, helping us, guys, because we are on a drive. Not for subscribers, which we are. Obviously, subscribe, share with your friends. We want the subscribers too. But for views, guys, Doug, we are on our road to 1 million views.
Nice.
We are going to hit that target in about a week. We'll see.
Nice.
I don't know.
That's
We kind of slowed down a little bit here, but it's been we'll see how it goes. But we are working. We're closing in 4 years. 1 million views, guys. It's a cool milestone. Like we always say, we never expected anybody to actually care about, us rambling about stuff or goobing over,
Yeah. We would have done this anyways, and we just turned on a camera.
Exactly. Invite you guys into it. Maybe you might like it. So,
yeah.
If you want to help us out, guys, check out our other videos. Come on in. If you're listening to the podcast, check out our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/thegrizzledgeek. And check out some of our other shows. Some of our reactions and that. So all those views help us get there and get that 1 million views, which we're right on the cusp of. And we'll have a very special show. We're putting together a special video about that, So,
cool.
We'll have all that.
Did I show you my cool new Mandalorian shirt?
No. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty awesome. My in-laws got that for me, and, along with another one.
Awesome. I'm rocking a D&D shirt in preparation for tomorrow's game. All right, guys. Or Doug, since I was just you and me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's dive into those stories.
Let's jump into it. Let's talk Godzilla versus King Kong. Godzilla versus Kong, I guess is the name of it.
Yeah.
One word, Mechagodzilla. Now, if you look back to what started all the Godzilla reboot, that was fairly grounded for a movie about a giant radioactive lizard. But after the craziness that was Godzilla King of Monsters,
product placement.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, if only they supported us.
Come on now, do.
Yeah. It's like, okay, even as crazy as King of All Monsters got, right? You figure there's no way it's going to totally embrace the sci-fi roots enough to actually see Mechagodzilla, which is probably one of, in a series of movies that can get pretty goofy from back in the day. That is probably one of the things you're like, that'll never see it in the more grounded, realistic modern movies.
Grounded, realistic. There's these Methuselah monsters sleeping into the earth.
Yep.
That kind of movie.
That kind of movie. But I mean, even that, it's still a whole other step to get the giant robot Godzilla, right?
Right.
So, but there was rumors about them having Godzilla from the very beginning, ever since it was announced. It's Mechagodzilla. Didn't happen in Godzilla King of Monsters. So is it going to happen in this movie? Well, spoiler, folks, it is. It probably the worst kept secret in Hollywood. They haven't officially come out and said Mechagodzilla is happening, but come on, it's all but been confirmed. Even the trailer shows a glimpse of Mechagodzilla wrecking buildings, right? And then one of the stills is him behind a computer screen, and there's basically a robot Godzilla panel on the computer screen behind him. So nice. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's happening. And to top it all off, we have...
oh, you have an image of this?
I have an image, yeah, the Funko Pop image. The
nice.
Toys that came out... Oh. If I can get it to work for me here.
Work, darn you.
Work. Okay, so Funko Pop is there's a bunch of cool toys for Funko Pops coming out with for this. So I'm kind of excited about the toys for this because I'm kind of a Funko Pop fan. But you see all the different cool Godzilla ones, right, and King Kong ones. But then, boom, Mechagodzilla. There it is. Now, is this confirmation? It pretty much is. And to be honest with you, that's pretty much it says right there. The toy Mechagodzilla coming out with official movie toys. So I would say that's confirmed. Look at that. Corbin, welcome. See? Absolutely. All right, yeah. So Mechagodzilla, it's happening, right? Are we ready for that? Is it making us any more excited to see this movie? I tell you what, after seeing Godzilla King of Monsters, and I didn't see it when it came out in theaters, I was like, I liked the first Godzilla movie. Second one, I was kind of like, I don't know. I loved it when I was a kid, but when I finally got to watch it later on, I liked it. I really liked the whole concept and the big giant monsters and I'm excited. And I was kind of like, you're fighting King Kong. And at first I was like, why is he fighting King Kong? King Kong's tiny compared to him.
Yeah.
Right? King Kong climbs buildings and Godzilla steps on him. Right?
Yeah.
That's the size difference. But then when I saw Kong Skull Island, right, and they made him huge, and they said he was still growing, I was like, okay, well, I guess they're going to size him up there. So, but yeah, the trailer looks awesome, right? And the fact that we might get Mechagodzilla, which we are getting Mechagodzilla, I'm excited about it.
Now it's hard to, if he's excited about it, and he also is excited about Batman Forever.
Yeah.
not sure now.
Corbin, you just got to wrecking it for us. Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't actually seen King Monster, so.
Oh man.
Because it's like, man.
It's pretty good. I mean, they got Mothra in it. They got Gojira. They got
Yeah, I guess
it's pretty cool.
I should have seen it. It was one of those. I don't know when it came out, what was going on. That I was just like, man, I just can't make the time. And now,
now it's on HBO Max. So,
well, I guess I still have my HBO Max from Wonder Woman, so I guess I should go check it out.
They got you. They're one of the ones you're one of the ones they got.
Yeah.
Sign up for Wonder Woman and keep it on.
It hasn't hit the month yet, so I could still cancel it. But I guess isn't whatchamacallit, Justice League next month?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll keep.
Well, March. But yeah, we'll get
is it March?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe I will cancel it then.
So look at that. Hey, Ben, welcome. Back at work already. And he still has Max. I know you have Max. There's a good reason why I know you have Max. So, yeah, he's got HBO Max.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, I'm excited. I don't know. I it was one of those things when the first Godzilla movie came out, I'm like, okay, that's fine. You remember back, like, we were super excited when, like, the Matthew Broderick one came out, because it was, like, the first time we're going to see, like, a modern,
right.
Godzilla. We were, like, super excited about it. We're like, we went to the theaters, and then we saw that, and we're like, oh, my God, what is this? It was pretty awful.
Here's my issue with this Godzilla versus Kong. Godzilla should totally nuke him, and he won't.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be upset.
Here's the thing: I don't think they're gonna fight. And let me tell you, I don't think that's Godzilla. Because if you watch the other movies, especially with the last one, they built Godzilla up as the good guy, right? He's a protector of mankind, right? He's a good guy. Right. And Kong is also the good guy in this one, right? And Monarch, the group is actually getting him out here. And then when you see him come up and they fight, I'm thinking, especially now that we know Mechagodzilla is involved in this, right? I'm thinking that's Mechagodzilla, right? And then as they fight, it's like, skin comes off and it's actually a giant robot. And then Kong and the real Godzilla, the two good guys, have to team up to fight Mechagodzilla.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that could be cool. Now I am slightly more excited.
Like I said, this is a wild theory. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but Mechagodzilla. That's all I'm going to say. And it has shuffled its release time around a little bit too. So it was originally scheduled for May 21st, right? It moved up to March 26th, but then it moved back. Not very far, March 31st, another week, right? And that's probably because they want to give Justice League another week, because I'll give Justice League 2 weeks, right? Without any.
Wait. Oh, I guess it is being released in theaters and on HBO Max, but
right?
Come on.
Yeah.
Wait, can it eke out a couple more $1 million? I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
This isn't give it 2 weeks so it gets a couple $100 million more than it would.
Right.
Like, that's not going to happen. It's.
Well, they got to put it towards the end of the month so people don't cancel their membership, right? So they go into the next month.
I mean, that is a better explanation. You spread the stuff out so that people are less likely to cancel and then re-up once the new thing comes out. But that's not going to stop me from probably, canceling it and then waiting until a bunch of stuff is out and then re-upping it. Because now there's nothing. Well, I shouldn't say nothing. It isn't worth keeping because I don't even go check HBO Max because there's nothing on there that I'm just like, I have to see this.
Right.
So once there's a few have to see things, then it's worth keeping.
Yeah. I mean, I saw, was it Cthulhu Country or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
I saw the series. Good? Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay. So, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing really keeping me there, right?
Right.
Although, I'm, keep it on for Justice League and.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, but I will say that they did. We'll talk about that here coming up here in the next one. But yeah, they did a little preview clip of all the stuff that's coming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's some cool looking stuff coming out, including that Mortal Kombat remake that I'm actually excited about now that I've seen footage of.
Oh, okay.
So, but last thing about Godzilla versus Kong, and this is this crazy tweet thing, but I thought it was awesome. Guillermo del Toro, the creator of Pacific Rim, actually tweeted out that the one thing he would get excited about returning to Pacific Rim is for a crossover with Godzilla and Kong, right?
That's
get
funny.
those Jaegers in there fighting especially if they get Mecha Godzilla out there, then they'll establish giant mechs, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That's true.
Crossover, and let's check out the Jaegers fight on these giant monsters. So,
Nice.
never gonna happen. But you know what? I can't say that anymore in this day and age.
Yeah.
There's I honestly can't say it's never gonna happen with all the stuff that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
With like Star Wars and in movies nowadays, it's just like stuff that we'd be like, okay, that makes no sense. That would never happen. And then now all of a sudden, crazy stuff is happening.
Yeah.
And you're
funny.
like, okay, well, I don't know. I don't know anymore. It just rocked my world. I don't know what's possible anymore. I would normally say this would never happen, but who knows? Especially if Kong vs. Godzilla does really well. All right. That's enough talking about giant monsters.
Yeah. Let's talk about. Oh man, never mind. I'm trying to think of how giant monsters could be leveraged into a DC disc, but nothing came. So we'll talk about DC media updates. First up, the Batman is set to wrap production and on time despite all the problems next month.
Nice.
The Flash is set to begin filming as soon as Ezra Miller wraps production on Fantastic Beasts, which may be the end of April.
Yeah.
That's pretty quick considering they had to recast Johnny Depp. So I'm kind of surprised about that.
Yeah.
A promo reel for upcoming HBO Max showcases new footage of upcoming Suicide Squad.
That looked awesome.
The winning clip is an exchange between Peacemaker, John Cena, and Bloodsport, Idris Elba. Where they butt heads when the latter points out that no one likes to show off. Peacemaker's response: they do when the person showing off is dope AF.
Yeah.
Peacemaker is the front runner to steal the show this movie.
Yeah, I can't wait. I understand. Watching these clips, I'm like, I understand why he got his own spin-off series on HBO Max.
Yeah.
John Cena has great comedic chops.
I couldn't stand him as a wrestler.
Yeah.
Because, I was one of those, like, oh, you're just shoving him down our throat, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
He's actually a pretty good wrestler, so, being objective about it. But he is a better actor.
Yeah. I like him better. Yeah.
He is so funny as an actor. Dude is awesome, so very excited about it. I feel the problem is he was so awful in those Marine movies. He's now probably typecast as a comedian because he didn't hang it as an action star in all of the whatever straight to video freaking WWE movies. But he's killing it in the comedy realm.
In the comedy realm, yeah.
Good for him.
He's doing great. I mean, so what do you think about, excited about Batman wrapping up production? They finally finishing through here. You're going to see this realistic take on... here's the thing, realistic take, really. Nolan already did that, right?
Okay.
So this whole darker, grittier, realistic take on young Batman, I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, the Nolan's take was the realistic... As realistic as you could get, because
with Batman, yeah,
as Kyle Hill has pointed out, he would be paralyzed after just a few weeks of being Batman, probably. So,
yeah.
But at least they did that. Like, what was it? The third movie where the doctor was X-raying him, going, "Oh my god!" He was like, "Oh yeah,
stuff is fused." Yeah, yeah, true.
So, I mean, that was cool nod to we're trying to be at least somewhat realistic here.
Right.
So
now I said I would never believe the Flash is actually happening until it actually starts filming. and it looks like it's getting ready to start filming just because of all the.
Again, they still have They still have 4 months to screw it up. So we'll see.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. But I mean, here's the thing: is I'm actually a pretty big DC fan, comic-wise, character-wise.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say comic-wise because Batman comics and Justice League comics I loved back in the 90s, early 2000s, and here and there since then, but I don't really follow them anymore.
Yeah.
But I love all the characters, so I don't want to hate on DC. Just Warner Brothers is making such a mess of it that it's just like, even those things that we thought were solid are, like Wonder Woman 1984 was just not that great a movie.
No, it was not.
So I'm scared for. I don't have a lot of hopes for Batman or the Flash. I'll see them both, but I don't have a lot of hope for it. I have more hope for Suicide Squad. Although I say that because I like the people involved, but the studio can still screw it up.
Yep.
And that leaves then Shazam and Aquaman. For them to ruin and take away from us. So it's like, it's just like Warner Brothers, sell these off to another studio or just stop screwing around and interfering with it.
So what do you think the DC and Marvel movies being so similar, like from the beginning, right? Like very similar movies in even story structure, right? On a lot of them here, right? Batman versus Superman, Civil War, right? I mean, story beats are very similar, and they've carried that all the way out. And now with the Flash, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like now who's mirroring who at this point? Because now Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is going to deal with the same concepts and doing the same kind of shtick of bringing in these old actors who played characters before to reprise their roles in alternate universes, right? I mean, it seems like in the beginning it's easy to say, okay, DC's trying to copy Marvel because they did it first, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think maybe this might be one of the first times that Marvel, because I think Flashpoint was planned, was what they wanted to do from a long time ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? Who knows how
Yeah,
it seems weird. Like somebody's listening to somebody, right? Somebody's like, I'm going to copy them.
Well, that happens all the time in Hollywood. I mean, two Tombstone movies come out the same year, and two
asteroid movies.
Two asteroid movies within
submarine movies.
Yeah, it happens a lot in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I guess my argument would be Marvel has shown that they have a plan and they largely stick to it.
Yeah.
And while they may change some story beats here and there, I have every faith that the idea that Doctor Strange would at some point deal with alternate realities was probably in the works before Justice League.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't guarantee that, and we'll probably never know that, but I can believe that somebody would think that about Doctor Strange. And you got to remember, they also acquired all those Fox properties and had to start thinking, how can we combine all this stuff? Well, here's a pretty obvious way. It happens in the comics all the time. Let's do that. And they didn't have to necessarily even go, well, DC's doing it, so let's do it. They can just go, they look at the comic books and go, this happens all the time in the comic books. Let's do that.
True.
Yeah, so, and I would beg to differ that they mirror each other more, that Warner Brothers, DC through Warner Brothers, tries to copy the success formula from Marvel and then fails because they don't follow through on all aspects of it. They just take the broad strokes and go, let's do the heroes fight each other thing. But there's no soul to it. There's no, there's no background to the characters to tie them together. It's literally Marvel takes 10 movies to get to where all of these characters know each other and have interacted with each other, and there's some sort of bonds where you could have, why are you picking this friend? I thought we were friends. Why are you picking this old friend that just showed up out of nowhere over me?
Yeah.
You know, versus we've never met each other. I don't even know your secret. I didn't even know who you were outside your costume, but we're going to fight because we have moms that have the same name and a stupid villain who thinks that blackmailing a superhero is a good idea. It's just like, what the crap is going on?
I did watch this video. What made me think of it is because I watched this video where it compared the two, and there's a whole bunch of comparisons that are minor, right? But
yeah,
it still gets uncanny when you start thinking about it, right? That when these two people are fighting and like the story beats, like even the mother comes into play, and both of them is important, right? And then when you talk about like Justice League versus like Infinity War and Endgame, right? It's like this alien threat coming in. They've got they're fighting over a box, right? He's got the cube. It's like this whole list of similarities that are like, I bet not even half of them are planned, right? It's just it's just weird.
True.
It's kind of uncanny when they get when it goes. I mean, I'm not doing it justice. I'm horrible at remembering what all this. Well, but they go through beat by beat what they did.
Sure. I mean, and this goes back to that ripping things off is classic comic book era.
Yeah, true.
Which came first, the Cosmic Cube or the Mother Box? Were they really meant to mirror each other, or was it just happenstance that they took the same shape?
Yeah.
Which in those two cases, I'm more inclined to think that was just coincidence. They do vastly different things. So
right.
But yeah, I mean, they have the same characters, just slightly different.
A lot of times they had the same creators, like going back and forth. Jack Kirby was a huge influence on both those.
On both of them, yeah.
Pretty much, Eternals are the old gods.
Yeah, was it the old gods? They didn't let him do what he wanted, so he did it with the Eternals, or the other way around. I can't remember.
It was no. Well, you said it because he had the idea, right? So he had a story idea beforehand. Went to DC. He created those characters in that series, but they didn't want to let him go as far as he wanted to take it, right? So he's like, so he left DC, come back to Marvel, and redid it with just recast the characters. And then there's times where they mirror each other on purpose, like the Squadron Supreme is, Justice League.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
True. Character for character in Justice League. And in fact, and we're going to get to one of these stories coming up later on, but like this newer version of them even look more like the characters they're making fun. I mean, not making fun of. I guess it's homage, I guess. Right? So, like the Wonder Woman character in Squadron Supreme, actually, has the shield and the sword and the whole bit. Looks just like Wonder Woman.
Oh,
and then Spectrum, who used to be like multicolored, now has got like more of a green hue, And was it Nighthawk or whatever was it? Whatever the Batman one is, his new costume is straight up looks like a Batman costume, right? Right? They toned down like the gold, hawk parts of it, right? Even on the face, he had like a kind of a, hawk mask on his face, and you can tone that down just like little, like eyebrows points. But otherwise, it's mostly black now. So,
whoa. Is he fighting a Doctor Doom that has the Crimson Gem of Cyttorak?
Yep, we'll get to that story coming up here. But yeah, that's our Heroes Reborn story.
I just took a look at it. I was like, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, Dr. Juggernaut.
Dr. Juggernaut. That's awesome. Looking at that image, whoever that artist is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And with the characters that they're just screwing around with, I'm like, all right. I'm in for
I kind of want to see it. I'm like, at first I was kind of like, we laughed it off last week, but now that we've got more information about it in a trailer.
Knowing that it's a self-contained story and it's just kind of a one-shot, okay, I could jump into that. I think that would be funny. But we'll talk about that, I guess.
All right, I think you got one more DC.
Yeah, one more
point.
Weird DC point is Ray Fisher has vowed that WB cannot stop him from doing press for Justice League despite being fired and written out of the Flash. So the question is, why would you want to do press for... he can't shut up about this. He's like he's
been louder than ever about all this stuff, especially now that he's been like let go, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's like doubling down, yet not specific, right? Still not saying what actually happened, but going on about the fact that it's going to draw attention away. I'm sure Zack Snyder's like, hey man, I know your beef's not with me, but can you not do press for the?
So for this? I think there's two things that could be going on here. One, he wants to continue talking about what he's been talking about,
right?
Or two, he wants to support Zack Snyder,
right? Yeah.
Maybe he thinks, hey, you really need to see what Zack really had initially, and he's invested in showing that Zack Snyder had a better idea than these guys who were being mean to me.
Yeah, true.
Maybe. Maybe that's his reasoning for wanting to do it. And I don't want to minimize anything that he's saying, and maybe it's all true, but the fact that he's talking the way he's talking, like you said, with no proof, seems to me to mean that whatever happened, he doesn't have enough to actually sue them over it.
Right. And you saw that
take legal action for it.
We talked about everything they put into that investigation, right? That third-party investigation, all the time and interviews and money spent on this third-party investigation, and they came up with nothing, right?
Well, they said corrective action was taken on some people or whatever.
In the fact that they pretty much cut ties with Joss Whedon, who didn't, But anyway, it's kind of like a weird thing. But the whole line, they can't stop me from doing press. I'm pretty sure they could if, other than the fact that press nowadays is, Skype calls.
I mean, they probably can't stop him from going, hey, Variety, do you want to talk to me? I'll talk to you about, Justice League. It's not official press junket, but he's like, I'll reach out to these people, and if they'll talk to me, I'll talk to them. So
exactly.
Then it becomes, will the media outlets engage with him or not?
Yeah, it's true.
But who knows?
All right. It's just weird. Like one of those things. It's like, okay, well, we'll see what's going on. All right, guys. It's that time. It's gonna be weird without Kirsten.
Now,
but
real quick question.
Yes.
Are these stories pressing, or should we save them for her for next time?
Actually, we could probably save them for next time.
Yeah, I mean, then you don't have to dig for more weed stories.
Weed stories. Yeah.
I mean, like, none of these are talking about stuff that's happening, like, in the next couple of weeks. You have to jump on this now.
Right. Exactly.
And there's some meaty stories in the Nerd Nuggets, so let's just jump.
Okay, so let's jump. Doug's like, I want to talk about some Nerd Nuggets. I hear you. All right, so let's jump into that then. All right, so we're not. Different one. All right, Nerd Nuggets. Here we go, guys. So there's new rumors suggest that Jon Bernthal is in talks to reprise his role as the Punisher in an upcoming MCU project. So Bernthal himself has recently kind of hinted that he'd be back, right? We haven't seen the last of him as the Punisher, and this rumor's been going around for quite a while since the rights reverted back, right? And I think they're just going to do like their pick and choose the best characters out of those, and use them. And that we already know that Charlie Cox is reprising his role as Daredevil for Spider-Man 3 and supposedly She-Hulk now, right? Both of those make sense.
Right.
And then the latest one is Kristen Ritter is in talks to reprise her role for an upcoming Disney Plus show.
It looks like She-Hulk is what they're...
And She-Hulk as well.
Having her in She-Hulk, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think if they do this, those will be the only three, although I really wish, I don't know why they wouldn't get D'Onofrio back as Kingpin.
Oh, right, yeah.
If they do this, because, I mean, outside of Charlie Cox, he's... and Bernthal, I guess, is Punisher. I mean, I can't imagine who could do a better job at Kingpin than, Vincent D'Onofrio. And he's down for it, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm all down for Bernthal back as Punisher. I think...
get them all back and relaunch your gritty street level stuff on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Although I got to say that I don't know they'd work as well on Disney Plus.
Probably not. Not as gritty.
Right. Yeah. We haven't seen what they're going to do with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so
yeah,
maybe they'll be pushing some bounds there. I don't know.
Right. Or how dark they're going to get with WandaVision.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. So I mean, I'm down for it. I mean, even if it's only those three, I'm excited they got those three to do this. Right.
Yeah.
There's no way guys come back as Iron Fist. Right. And Luke Cage, even though Mike Coulter was really good at Luke Cage, I think he's in a new series now. He's got work doing stuff.
Yeah, that's too bad because he was pretty much spot on Luke Cage.
Yeah, he was Luke Cage. Like, yes. Sweet Christmas, he was Luke Cage. All right, what we got?
All right. Legendary Pictures is developing a reboot of the pulp hero Buck Rogers, with George Clooney as an executive producer. Clooney himself is mulling over starring in the movie as well. The movie looks to be tied in with the upcoming Brian K. Vaughan comic series and the anime spin-off planned for Netflix. Really?
So, yeah. I mean, Buck Rogers.
Now,
it's inevitable they're doing Buck Rogers, but...
So I'm wondering how are we gonna slant closer to the TV show or closer to the old pulp?
From what I understand, the Brian K. Vaughan series is very pulp, kind of out there.
Very, very much Conan in space.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the image I saw, like full on rocket packs. And laser,
laser guns,
and rocket packs, and a whole bit. The thing that gets me is Clooney rolling over starring in it. That doesn't necessarily mean he's starring as Buck Rogers,
right? Yeah,
right. But I mean, because he's a little old for Buck Rogers,
right? Yeah.
So, I don't know what he would star in it as. I can't see him as Ming or
maybe the
Doctor.
No, maybe. You're. Ming is in Flash Gordon.
Oh, that's right, Flash Gordon. Buck Rogers is...
he could be the dude who's, if you went along the route of the TV show, he could be the guy who's like the leader of the...
Oh, yeah.
The human part of the government, although it's run by robots, apparently. So,
right, yeah. And I haven't seen the comic, but it's Brian K. Vaughan writing the comic, so there's going to be some kind of twisty take on it, I guess. So and they've already, and apparently the comics series is good enough. They've already planned an anime spin-off of it for Netflix. So, and if there's a movie based on it as well,
yeah, that's cool.
That's launching the character in a big way. Buck Rogers,
nice.
Remember that old Buck Rogers board game you used to have?
Yeah, it was it was essentially like Risk, but but it was a little different. Yeah, I
only with cooler pieces. I remember.
Yeah, did I own that, or did somebody else own that?
I think you owned it. I think
because if I did, I don't own it anymore, which is a bummer. Because I'm like, that game was kind of cool.
I just remember had fond memories of playing that game back in the day, and I remember taking forever to set up like Axis Allies, and then being over like if a couple moves could end it really quick. You're like, oh.
I conquered this planet and you can't take it from me. I win.
But yeah, every time I think of Buck Rogers, I think of that. Oh, I think of that, and I think of, obviously the old TV show, but I think of my old first computer I got was that ColecoVision Atom computer, the old tape drive computer, and the one tape game it came with was Buck Rogers.
Nice.
Right. So
that's funny.
Yeah, crazy back in the day. Yeah. Now I'm dating myself. We are old. All right. Netflix Sandman series is set to kick off soon with most of the cast locked down. Tom Sturridge will take on the lead role as Dream, with Game of Thrones Gwendolyn Christie as Lucifer, which is a cool cast. Logan's Boyd Holbrook, who was the head of the Reavers in Logan, as Corinthian. Game of Thrones, Charles Dance, who's a great actor, as Roderick Burgess, who's the wizard guy in the comics. So Tywin Lannister is the wizard guy. Seems pretty cool. And Aslam Chandri and Sanjeev Bhaskar as Abel and Cain. But the big one that they have not announced yet is the fan favorite Death has not been cast yet. Or if they haven't announced it yet. I'm sure it's cast already because they're getting ready to film. So
keeping it under the wraps.
Yeah, I have a really love-hate relationship with this comic series, right? Because I'm not as over the moon with Gaiman as a lot of people are, right?
Right.
Back in the day, but he had some really good Sandman stories, right? And I think the ones I like the most are the ones that delve more into the mythology of it than,
so boring.
There's a lot of it that's boring. I'll give you that.
So boring.
There is a lot of it that's boring, but I mean, I gotta imagine they gotta, pump it up for a series, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be something there. Oh well, a lot of people are excited about it. They've been trying to do a Sandman series or movie since the '80s, and finally getting one.
All right. Heroes Reborn trailer has been released for upcoming comic event. Instead of a revisit to the 90s pocket dimension, the new event will see Blade wake up in a world where the Avengers never happen and the Squadron Supreme are the world's heroes.
Yeah.
And gotta say, I didn't watch the video yet, but the images look pretty cool.
Yeah. Exactly. It I don't know. It looks... It's like one of those things like, I gotta check out this graphic novel. Right?
Thanos is a vampire.
Yeah.
Freaking, that's awesome. I mean, it is hilarious how far they went to copy stuff. Like, this dude looks like a Trigon. Yeah. It's just like, what? There's Green Lantern, except for he's got a yellow hand and he's not dressed that way.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Squadron Supreme. They made the Squadron Supreme. They were already characters based on...
Yeah, I mean, let's take the some of the bad guys and make them look like it as well. I'm really wondering who that character is that looks like Etrigan.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks...
That's weird.
But, I mean, it's Jason Aaron and Ed McGuinness is drawing it, right? So they got talent on this book.
Yeah. Yeah, and the art looks fantastic. So
yeah, and
that's pretty cool.
Ed McGuinness is awesome, and what I like about Ed McGuinness is he was one of my favorites because he's top 5 Hulk artists, right?
Oh,
I like how he draws big guys.
Yeah,
that's hard to say because I have so many great Hulk artists.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can tell by the way he draws Juggernaut or Dr. Juggernaut.
Dr. Juggernaut.
Yeah, I mean, he says he's got that, that he does big guys really well. But it's one of those things when I first heard about this, I'm like, okay, really? We're going to revisit Heroes Reborn, the worst decision Marvel made back in the 90s? I don't care about those characters. And then switching it around, now it's like one of those, and we've seen, it's a trope that's been done before, right? Someone, that's a Wonderful Life trope where Blade wakes up and he's the only one who remembers the world like it was.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right? So, and I like that they picked Blade because he's not like one of the, he's not a character that can actually go about and doing something about it, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, if it's Mr. Fantastic or Tony Stark or somebody like that, right, who could actually, he doesn't have, I mean, he's a cool character, but he doesn't have, like, the clout or, the power to really influence, like,
yeah.
directly. He's not going to be directly going out there, oh, I got to go stop Dr. Juggernaut.
Yeah.
So
that's funny.
I don't know. I like the idea. The concept sounds awesome, and the trailer was awesome. So
yeah, it's cool.
All right. So we have up here. We got. Oh, this one is super exciting. Yeah. Favreau teased that we were going to get some fan favorite bounty hunters in the Book of Boba Fett. So the Book of Boba Fett is getting ready to. It's filming right now. Mandalorian season 3 is going to film right after that this spring, right? So it's going to go right into wrap right up and go right into the next one here. But the Book of Boba Fett, we're kind of like, what is it going to be about? Well, now we got some ideas. We're going to get some fan favorite bounty hunters. So there's only a few fan favorite bounty hunters out there. I'm assuming his old Empire Strikes Back crew, right? What is it? Zuckuss, Forlome. So Zuckuss was like the big bug guy. Yep. Forlome is the one droid guy. IG-88, we all know who IG-88 is. You know, an IG droid. Dengar, you know, the guy with the big, you know, diaper on his head. Bosk. I'm excited about Bosk because he, out of all those, he had probably had the most in the Clone Wars, right? About him. Plus,
oh yeah,
we've seen, you know, his race. Oh, what are those lizards called?
Oh, put me on the spot.
I know. I'm like, why do I not know this? My Star Wars credits are slipping.
Man, you made me space on it now.
I know.
Freaking Wookiees and
Trandoshans.
There you go.
Trandoshans. There we go. I'm like, wait a minute. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited about the boss. I'm seeing that. But someone brought up from LRM Online was saying that there's a good possibility, and I don't know where this is coming from, but LRM Online's got some good scoops, right? And they're saying that it's a good possibility that Cad Bane of Clone Wars fame will be one of the ones that he's talking about, right? Which, again, is one of those things where I'd be like, that'll never happen. But I'm like, I can't say that. I can't say that now, because it's Filoni, you know, it's Jon Favreau. They've already brought Clone Wars characters to life, right? I mean, they brought Luke back, for God's sake. So, there's nothing these guys can't do if they want to do it. And Cad Bane is such an awesome character. Yeah. I'm more excited about seeing him than any of the other ones.
He's going to be even older, man.
Yeah. Well, we don't have a whole those aliens age. But he was kind of crusty back.
Well, and here's the other thing is, are they going to keep the idea that they've had a gunfight before? And how did he come out of that?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Boba Fett did, but that's where he got the dent on his helmet. So
his Beskar, he dented Beskar with it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Aren't you? How do you feel about the possibility of seeing Cad Bane? I mean,
yeah, it sounds cool. If they can translate him right. Which, you know, you would have said the same thing about Ahsoka. So, it's Favreau and Filoni, so they could probably hack it or won't do it if they can't. So, in that sense, I'm relatively confident in whatever's going to come out. If he's in it, you know, it'll be because they knew they could do him well. But if he's not, it's because they couldn't get him right and they didn't want to shortchange him. So keep that in mind. If he doesn't show up, don't give him a bunch of crap about it because it's probably because he wouldn't translate correctly and they didn't want to ruin him.
Right. No, I mean, at this point, anything that happens is, you know, it's a gift at this point. But
yeah.
I'm just saying.
I guess that was more directed to everybody out there, not you.
Yeah. Specifically. Yeah. It's like, give him a break. That's something hard to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just the idea, just the thought of it might happening. And like I said, again, I actually have the power to dream now that this might happen because, you know.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, it's cool. Pretty exciting.
Yep.
All right. One last story here.
I actually got one after this, but go ahead.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yep.
HBO Max is in early development, and by early, some people have talked and thought about, wouldn't this be a good idea?
Yeah.
Of a live-action Harry Potter series. Currently, Warner Brothers has a think tank of writers, which is more than I heard, looking for potential storylines and ideas set in the Wizarding world. J.K. Rowling will not be involved. That's also new news that I hadn't heard previously.
Yeah.
Because she is pretty controlling about her property, so I'm not sure how they got that right.
I have no idea. That's kind of...
Because she had to approve the designs of everything in the Wizarding world of Harry Potter in the theme parks. So she's pretty controlling. So I'm not sure how
Right.
they convinced her to give up control of that.
I think this is like one of those. I mean, a think tank could mean, you get a couple writers together and
Right.
you three think of a way to milk this for more
Right.
money because we're stuck in the hind tit in the streaming wars and our biggest property we no longer have. So let's try and find some way to bring it back. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. How do you feel about it? You were a much bigger Harry Potter fan than I was. So
Yeah, I mean, I like the movies. The books are pretty good. The this is Harry Potter heresy, but the movies are better until you get to like the last half of the story, because I recently tried to really actually listen to them on Audible, and I got to like the third one and I was just, I gotta stop. I'm so freaking annoyed with like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
He always makes the worst decisions possible, and just, it's like, what is going on with you?
Yeah, I couldn't
obsessed.
I could never get into the series. I read the first book, which is written for kids. I get it.
Yeah,
I understand the books grow up with the kids. I understand that, but I started the second one. I got partway through the second one, and I just couldn't. I couldn't. This is not written for me. I couldn't do it. I'm assuming I would like it if I got. I mean, knowing how the movies went and the story goes.
Yeah, the last 4 books are, I guess, the last 4 books I would say are, everything starts going faster and faster, and they're really good. But yeah, those first few, you're just like, oh my gosh,
I can't.
But there's a lot of ground, and the first thing I'm gonna step out on the line here is, it will not be about Harry Potter.
No.
There's no way you get the big 3 to come back for an HBO Max series. They all are really, well, Rupert Grint maybe would come back because he's not doing much else.
Yeah.
But I think that
it'll be another different, wizard or whatever.
Yeah, I think
story out of way. I don't even think it'll be a Hogwarts. I think it'll be like kind of off in the world somewhere.
One of the things that people are that a lot of people in the Harry Potter community are really excited about, the idea, is a founder's story, like the actual founding of Hogwarts and following those 4 like super famous wizards, and how that all came about. I mean, it could, and it would probably be cool. I don't know that that's the most likely. Yeah. I also liked the idea. This is Super Carlin Brothers is a Harry Potter, Pixar, to a degree Marvel kind of. They do pop culture type stuff,
right?
And they do lots of theory videos. But they did a video where one of the things they suggested was a Beetle the Bard series, where he goes through all the adventures that leads to him writing his book about the Deathly Hallows and all of the other stuff, all the other stories he comes out. So that could be interesting. So yeah, there's a lot. I mean, it's obviously a pretty rich world that you can delve into and go a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's HBO Max, so
yeah, I'm not necessarily. I'm not going to say this would get me to keep HBO Max, but it could be interesting. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, guys. For our last story, it was just announced that Hollywood Reporter just announced that Paramount Pictures and J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot are looking to team up again for a direct sequel to Cloverfield, the old Cloverfield movie. If you guys remember back, Cloverfield, the giant monster movie, which was made for about $25 million and grossed almost $200 million at the box office, right? It also gave Matt Reeves his start, right? So without him, we wouldn't have War of the Planet of the Apes. We wouldn't have the new Batman movie. So he made his name in Cloverfield, and then there has been 2 sequels. I hear you guys saying there was 2 sequels. Not really, kind of. There was 10 Cloverfield Lane, which was complete. They were loosely tied in with it, right? 10 Cloverfield Lane was actually a really good movie, but it had nothing to do with Cloverfield, right? Other than the reveal at the end that there's aliens, right? Which were not giant monster aliens either. So we don't even know how that's tied in, other than there's something going on in the world, some kind of apocalypse thing. But it was a really great atmospheric movie. I really liked 10 Cloverfield Lane. In fact, I kind of like it better than the original Cloverfield. And then there was the Cloverfield Paradox, which had nothing to do with Cloverfield, other than but the Cloverfield monster did show up at the end. Which I think this was a movie, Cloverfield Paradox, Doug. I think it was a sci-fi movie that they bought because it was in space, right?
Right.
And then they kind of shoehorned it into the Cloverfield world, because at the very end, when they're on an escape pod re-entering the Earth's atmosphere, they're coming down through the clouds, the Cloverfield monster comes up out and swallows the capsule. Right? That's it. And you can totally tell that was tacked on at the end, right? They're like, okay, we got to make this about Cloverfield somehow. Not that I was going for it. But now this one is going to be a direct sequel to the original Cloverfield giant monster movie. Maybe we'll find out
what's going on with the invasion and stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. So, and the originals, it's Paramount Pictures and Bad Robot doing it, and they've tapped Joe Barton, who he wrote Humans. I don't know what that is, but they tapped him to write a screenplay for it. So we'll see. We'll see if this thing actually happens or not. But if it does, I'm kind of curious. I like This was back when Cloverfield came out, when it had that it was right in that found footage wave. In the early 2000s, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But it was actually one of the ones that was, done pretty good, right?
Yeah, I liked it because the monster was kind of just backdrop.
Yeah.
Like, you mostly were interacting with the environment and the little aliens that fell off of him, and which made you think that, like, what's going on? Why does he have? Are these just fleas or or parasites that are on him, or was he sent here? What's going on? Right. So that's kind of cool that they would piggyback on that and go, well, this is what's going on. Did we fight him off? Did we have to nuke him? Did he survive the nuke? What's going on here?
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Going back to the giant monsters. Giant monsters are making a comeback, Doug.
All right.
All right. So there you have it, folks. Giant monster episode.
Super Giant Monster Showdown.
That's right. Don't know how you make giant monster movies better. You put a monkey in there. So Godzilla versus Kong, folks, and Mecha Godzilla, a giant Godzilla mech. I'm just like
Sweet.
And I like how they haven't announced it or anything yet, but yet they've pretty much shown us Mechagodzilla in the trailer. There's like one little scene, but you can see, like, wow, Godzilla ripping through. Why has he got a square jaw? Why is he metallic? I'm like, all right. And then the scene of the Mechagodzilla readout behind the guy. So, but all right, guys, thank you very much. We have a couple of things coming up here. One, we are, like I said, on our road to 1 million subscribers, guys. So if you want to help us out and help us get there, come check out our YouTube channel. Watch some of the videos. It'll be exciting. We are also going to be in a few weeks. Let's see here. What is the date on that? March 12th. Episode 78 of the podcast is going to be simulcast at the PodCon virtual convention for podcasters. So come join us there. It'll still be live. So it'll be the same time. The only difference is it will be only 45 minutes that night instead of an hour, because that's how they do them in those 45-minute slots.
Got it. Okay.
But we're going to be at PodCon, guys. So come check it out. Watch the show. Join us there and give us support. And if you want to help us out, support the channel, and the things that we do here, Doug, how can they help us out?
Click one of those 3 links below, or all 3 of them, preferably. Yeah. One is to our Teespring store. You can check out the shirts that you can see in the background there. 2, you can check us out on Patreon, where we put up a few like unedited videos, especially our reactions to things. And then 3, you can click that Amazon affiliate link, do your Amazon shopping while you're stuck at home. Through that link, we get a small kickback. Doesn't cost you anything extra.
Yep. All right, guys, there you go. We'll see you back here next week with another weekly roundup of your nerd news. Until then, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.